Hi everyone, this is Ashik P. Today we can discuss about some of the basic aspects of cleavage and morphogenetic movement, which comes under developmental biology, which is the fifth chapter in CSIR UGC NET syllabus. As a beginning, we can distinguish between developmental biology and embryology. Developmental biology studies the various actions involved in the development of living organism. Whereas embryology is a section of developmental biology that focuses on the development from one undifferentiated cell to a complete organism. In other terms, we can say like this. Embryology, that is a study of the phase in between fertilization to birth, during which the embryogenesis occurs. Whereas developmental biology is a study of the phase from fertilization to death. In other terms, we can say like this, we are continuously developing into death. The cycle of life of animals starts with the gamete, that is sperm and ova. As we know, sperm is a male gamete and ova is a female gamete. Through the process of fertilization, the haploid sperm and ova fuses to form the diploid zygote. Through the process of cleavage, the zygote will be converted into morula. During cleavage, the multiplication of zygote occurs. The morula, through the process known as blastulation, will be converted into blastula. Blastula is actually a mass of cells. Blastula will not be that much organized, that is, heterogeneous cells will be present in blastula. Through the process known as gastrulation, the blastula will be converted into gastrula. In gastrula stage, the scattered cells which is having same fate will be comes together. The gastrula stage is having three germ layers. They are ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These three germ layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, through the process known as organogenesis will be converted into organ. In this slide, we are seeing the cycle of life of a frog. Since this organism is having indirect development, we can see the larval stages also in this figure. The organ after maturation, once attaining puberty, they will again begin to produce the gamete, that is sperm and ova respectively. The pattern of cleavage is mainly influenced by two factors. The first one is the presence of yolk or the distribution of the yolk. And the second one is the position of spindle fibers. In most of the cases, the yolk will be stored in the vegetal side of the zygote. As a result, the zygotic nucleus will be displaced towards the animal side. Therefore, the process of cleavage is easy in animal side as compared to the vegetal side. If we are classifying the egg as according to the amount of the yolk, there are allocetal, oligolecetal, mesolecetal, and polylecetal eggs. Allocetal eggs are without yolk. Oligolecetal eggs contain small amounts of yolk. Mesolecetal eggs contains moderate amounts of yolk, and polylecetal eggs are with large amounts of yolk. We can also classify the egg as according to the distribution of yolk. In this classification, there are homolecetal, centrolecetal, and telolecetal eggs. In homolecetal eggs, the yolk is equally distributed throughout the cytoplasm. In centrolecetal eggs, the yolk is concentrated in a net-like structure around the nucleus. Whereas in telolecetal, the yolk will be deposited in vegetal pool. The telolecetal eggs can be again classified as light telolecetal and heavy telolecetal as according to the amount of yolk present in it. The process of cleavage is of two types, that is complete cleavage and incomplete cleavage. Incomplete or holoblastic cleavage, the cleavage furrow starts from the animal side and passes through the vegetal side. That is, the cleavage furrow can entirely pass through the animal-vegetal axis. The holoblastic cleavage may be equal holoblastic, in which the zygote gives two equal blastomeres, or unequal holoblastic, in which the zygote gives two unequal blastomeres. When we are looking into the meroblastic cleavage or incomplete cleavage, the cleavage furrow cannot entirely pass through the animal-vegetal axis. That means the cleavage is restricted in the animal side due to the presence of large amount of yolk in the vegetal side. The meroblastic cleavage can be discoidal cleavage or superficial cleavage. We can discuss the details in the upcoming slides. Holoblastic cleavage can be classified on the basis of the distribution of yolk. First of all, we can discuss about the isolecithal egg, in which the yolk is evenly distributed. Different type of organisms are having different patterns of cleavage for isolecithal egg. We can start from the radial cleavage. A radial cleavage is present in echinoderms and amphioxus. In these organisms, the cleavage furrow can pass through the entire axis. Annelids, mollusks, and flatworms shows spiral cleavage. Spiral body of these organisms are due to this type of cleavage. Positioning of spindle fibers helps in this type of cleavage. The blastomeres produced after this type of cleavage is having a peculiarity that one blastomere will be large and the other will be small. This produces the spiral appearance. The bilateral cleavage is seen in the case of tunicates. In this type of cleavage, the blastomeres produced will be having identical structure and size. Mammals and nematodes shows a rotational cleavage. A rotational cleavage involves a normal first division along the meridional axis, giving rise to two daughter cells. The way in which this cleavage differs is that one of the daughter cell divides meridionally while the other divides equatorially. Now we can move towards the mesolecithal egg. Mesolecithal eggs will be containing moderate amounts of yolk which is deposited in the vegetal region. The type of cleavage shown by mesolecithal egg is known as displaced radial cleavage and it is present mainly in the case of amphibians. In this type of cleavage, the speed of cleavage furrow decreases when it reaches into the vegetal side. The second furrow immediately starts when the first cleavage furrow reaches into the vegetal side. The third cleavage furrow is equatorial, displaced towards the animal side. Now we can discuss about the meroblastic cleavage or incomplete cleavage. In the case of telolecithal egg, where dense yolk is distributed throughout most of the cell, there is bilateral cleavage and discoidal cleavage. Bilateral cleavage occurs mainly in the case of cephalopods. The cleavage is restricted only in the animal side where the yolk is not present. Discoidal cleavage occurs in the case of fishes, reptiles, and birds. A disc-shaped cytoplasm present in the animal side has the egg nucleus. The divided cells in discoid cleavage will proliferate like a disc-shaped appearance. In the case of centrolecithal egg, where the yolk is present at the center of the egg, the cleavage is known as superficial cleavage. And this type of cleavage is mainly present in the case of insects. In superficial cleavage, the cleavage is restricted at the peripheral side. In this type of egg, the nucleus is present inside a small cytoplasmic island at the center. The nucleus slowly migrates to the peripheral side after the division. Gastrulation is a complex series of cell movement that rearranges cells and give them new neighbors. These rearrangements put cells in a new environment with the potential to receive new signals. Gastrulation results in the formation of the three germ layers that will form most of the subsequent embryo, such as ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. Now we can discuss about some of the morphogenetic movements that have been recognized. First of all, invagination. Invagination is a local inward buckling of an epithelium or infolding of sheaths of cells into the blastula. Movement of endodermal cells in sea urchin is an example for invagination. In involution, inward movement of a cell layer around a point or edge occurs, or inward movement of a layer of cells. It moves through the inner side of the outer layer of cells. Amphibian mesoderm movement is an example for involution. In the case of ingression, movement of individual cells or small groups from an epithelium into a cavity occurs. Sea urchin mesoderm formation is an example for ingression. In delamination, splitting one cell sheath into two or more parallel sheaths occurs. Hypoblast formation in birds and mammals occurs through delamination. In the case of epiboly, spread of an outside cell layer to envelop a yolk mass or deeper layer occurs. Ectoderm formation in sea urchin is an example for epiboly movement. The three germ layers of the gastrula stage will develop different organs of the body through the process known as organogenesis. The universal mechanism of animal development is represented in this slide.